This is violence now.
Oh, this isn't plugged in.
The thing we need.
Power! It's interesting because Ariel tried to obviate us from being funny. She tried to say that the show doesn't have to be funny.
No, she's wrong. That's the whole point.
That's why we're doing it. For the laughs.
Well, Ariel, much like you, because she is your sister, cares a lot about the high concept.
Yeah, that's true. That's
the high concept is an excuse. It's a sham. It's an illusion. An illusion. An illusion.
An illusion.
I say it 3 times so that you know it's important.
That is how it works in fiction.
That is how it works in fiction.
That is how it works in fiction.
I'm holding to my bet.
Oh?
I made a bet when we started this, and I said it to you, that I know what your reaction to all of Kaiji is going to be.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that's interesting. Do you care to make a dangerous wager on that?
We'll see if this first one links up with that.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I don't need to make the wager until I know I have a winning chance.
Oh, yes, I see. All right. Well, in which case, I think we don't need to do much preamble. Let's just get into it.
Really?
Let's do the intro, welcome to the Breakup podcast. Things you love, we destroy them. I'm Sam Young.
I'm Jacob Waskow.
Yep.
Hi.
So this is the first of our long form.
It's been a while.
It's been a little while, but we've, I think we're allowed to give ourselves a little more time for this project.
It wasn't as bad as the great hiatus of 17.
The great hiatus of August 2018, yes.
Jeez.
It hasn't been a year.
Time flies when you're watching things.
Time flat circle. Which is something I made a joke about in the very first episode.
Really?
Yeah, in episode 0, I'm pretty sure I make a True Detective joke. So we've really come full circle now.
What is this, some fucking anime girl shit?
It's not sophisticated.
So,
enough for that.
I don't think there are any anime girls in either of our things.
No, there really are. This is something I will say, is that there is a distinct lack of women in both of the things that we are talking about today.
Yes.
That is actually a point.
That is a problem for us, I think.
Why do we get to that? Well, I think you go first this time. I think it's your turn, and I'm more interested to hear what you have to say. So, Jacob, what did
You aren't interested in what I want to hear.
I'm going to make you wait for it.
Sam, what piece of shit did you make me read?
I made you read, to begin with, the first book of The Lies of Locke and Lamora by Scott Lynch.
Yeah.
All right, and...
Okay, I made notes. I didn't make notes. Thank you.
Providing the sound effects.
Now,
I do all the Foley work for the show.
I feel like this is going to come off like the start of a bad stand-up bit.
Okay.
But you had mentioned in passing The Lies of Locke Lamora as offhandedly to Eternal Enemy of the podcast, Jesse Cowell.
Yes.
And with a name like that and knowing absolutely nothing about the book, I went, oh, a book set in Scotland.
not Loch Lamora.
That sounds really interesting.
Not Loch Lamora.
I would never read something about a lake, but whatever. Sure. And
this has gone off to a rollicking start.
So when you assigned it to me, I was like, fuck, I learned enough about Edinburgh when I did my fucking class on Edinburgh. I'm really not excited for this. And of course, okay, I need to sort of contextualize something for the listener.
Okay.
There's a person in our lives whose name I'm not going to mention, who doesn't like theft. theft as a plot device, as a motive, as a thing, is dumb to them. Because they think that you can get all the money in the world, but that's not real pathos. That's not an actual thing. That is not characters being developed. That is not characters learning a moral. It is just, you get the money, now
you get
what?
the money.
What do you do with your money, you criminal? You bum?
You jerk.
And so, when I mentioned in passing to them, I will be reading Lies of Locke Lamora, they went, oh, it starts off pretty slow, so you should be a bit careful about that. I went, okay, I'll take that into consideration. And so I started reading Lies of Locke Lamora. And after I think about the 5th chapter, I put the book down very carefully onto my desk, and I went, they're so fucking wrong in everything, in all the things, and every single word they have said to me since we met was a fucking lie. Because not only is this an amazing book,
oh thank God,
not only is this great, this features all of the Jacob Waskow
thank God
list things of crazy fantastical setting
Number one.
that is not conforming to genre trope. 2, features criminals prominently.
Yes.
Features thieves.
Yes.
3, features those thieves organized in what we might describe as a gang
guild
or union, also known as a thieves
I didn't
guild.
think of that.
4, a lot of rich people being screwed over.
Yes.
So Sam, all I have to ask you is, why would you suggest this to me not knowing I wouldn't love this? I wouldn't love every fucking page. I went through it over and over and over. I loved the descriptions of the things happening. I loved the city that they lived in.
We're gesturing a lot.
I loved everything. I loved Locke Lamora. I loved his shitty twin asshole friends. I loved the fucking loser buddy who they shit on all the fucking time and gets rolled around in a barrel for like 2 chapters. I love how he falls down on top of a guard and says, I slept with your whore mother last night, and then runs away, like a shit. This is a great book.
Okay. I've finally done it. Podcast is over. We're done. We don't need to do this anymore.
We just get to play out to end of Evangelion music.
Yeah.
My severed head, just sort of submerged in the ocean, staring down at you. I like that it is a serious port city. So a lot of it is focused on riverways and water and barges, and they make barges interesting by virtue of being like, these barges are so either so big or so magically enhanced that there's a big scene where Locke Lamora and the gang are I feel like we should actually describe the plot.
Maybe we should talk about this first.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't want to have you let me ask you, have you only read the first third?
I've read the first book.
Okay, so you haven't read the whole thing. Okay. So without spoiling anything too much, The Lies of Locke Lamora is about a...
No, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, okay.
I will describe what the first portion is about.
Because to be fair, it's been a while since I read it.
So, Lies of Locke Lamora is about a young boy who becomes a asshole teenager after a small time skip named Locke Lamora, who is, as far as anyone with any sense, i.e. an adult, is concerned, gifted by the gods to be supernaturally clever, but also desperate to be like, I'm going to cause all the trouble.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone. I'm going to make the world burn.
Yeah. I can't quite remember how this goes, but there's a hidden god of thieves, and he's sort of charmed by this god.
The idea is that he is very charmed by this god. And so he starts off as a orphan boy of 7, winds up killing 2 fellow orphans in a shitty, not an orphanage, the opposite word for the inverse of orphanage.
It's like a child
pickpocketing sweat labor shop.
It's a real Fagin kind of operation. Yeah.
Where you live in the middle of a graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he gets 2 boys killed, and the runner of this literally 2-penny operation.
Is he called the King of Thieves? What is he called? The Prince of Thieves?
I don't fucking know.
Whatever it is.
The Rat King.
Yeah.
The Rat King is like, hey, I gotta sell him off to this priest dude because otherwise I'm gonna kill him. Because I gotta kill this kid. He's gonna fuck up my operation. If anyone finds out that you can kill the other orphans, oh shit.
Oh, balls.
So the priest, who pretends to be blind as, like a hobby, is like, I can't see you, but I'm gonna listen to your story, buddy. And so he tells the story, and the guy's like, whoa, oh, this kid's dangerous. How much do you want? 2 pennies. All right, I'll buy that. I'll buy that for $1. So, Locke Lamora is given an ultimatum that if he does not steal a fantastical amount of whimsical magic money, he will be killed. And so begins the massive jump skip to Locke Lamora running the guild he had joined from the priest and being like, I'm the greatest shit thief of all. I'm king of the pirates. And he is in the midst of conning a middling noble of the city with a very, very long con of, I'm playing both sides. I'm the guy who's
playing his own side.
Yeah. He starts grifting him by pretending to be one person. Then he dresses up another person and goes, that guy you just met? He's totally grifting you.
He tells him his exact plan.
Yeah, he tells him the exact plan.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, well, why would I give him more of my money? Because he's like, we need to capture him. We need to capture the guy who is me. So just keep giving him money. Don't worry. I have a plan. And presumably he doesn't have a plan. Presumably he's just playing this by ear. He does a lot of foreplanning.
There's a lot of improvisation.
Well, there's a lot of research, because they talk about that a couple of times, where they study this guy's political dealings to know just the right rival to refer to, and why he goes to a certain church all the time, and what he would be interested in terms of things to get. So there's this magical brandy that they're like, oh man, we gotta con him into buying this magical brandy, which I thought they were gonna do, and then it's like, no, that's just to add fuel to the fire. We're gonna conjecture the hell out of this possible intrigue scenario that's gonna ruin this real orchard that we're fake a part of.
It goes on and on.
It goes on and on and on, and it's all amazing. And I have no idea why people wouldn't like this, and why they don't like thieves.
It's a very well received book, actually.
Yeah,
it's really well received. So the
why do you like this? Why do you like this piece of shit that's great?
This piece of shit that's great. I really adore the setting. The city is the other main character of the book. The concept is, if I'm remembering it correctly, is that there's a fantasy world that's sort of fantasy France and Italian Renaissance and a little bit of England, and it's all kind of mushed together. Or that's the aesthetic. And there was at some point in the distant past sort of an alien race or something, some sort of elder race that was there and built these cities that were made of glass. It's called elder glass.
Yeah.
And
it glows.
And it glows, and they're gone. Nobody knows what happened to them. So what's happened is the humans have come in and just built cities over top of these structures. And the way he paints these pictures of these gorgeous cityscapes, and you could feel the dirt and the grime. And I just love the setting. I love the cons. The cons just keep on coming.
See, it's weird. I don't care about the cityscape. I have a much fuzzier image of it.
Yeah.
What I like is the much smaller details.
Oh, yeah.
For instance, there's a whole bit of him watching this weird show that's half execution, half
the gladiatorial fight thing.
Yeah, the weird gladiatorial fight thing.
Cool. That whole section where he's on the boat and it just takes a detour to here's what's happening right now, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
For me, I like all of it, but the reason that I kind of come back to the visuals of it is I'm not a very visual thinker, and it's a book that really makes me think of what it looks like. And I think all the characters have these wonderful little personalities. You really care about them. Locke is he is kind of omnicompetent, and I won't spoil anything, there will be mistakes he makes, and there will be consequences for things. But he never feels this word has lost a lot of currency. He's not a Marty Stew, he's not a Mary Sue. He's very, there are flaws there, and he works for everything he does.
The book effectively starts at the 2/3 mark of any normal heist movie.
Yeah.
The planning's all been done.
Yeah.
The struggle has already happened. Now you're seeing the climax, as it were, but that climax is very spread out.
Well, I mean, there is like a bigger thing that's going on, and I don't know how much has come into that yet.
It's been just very barely into.
Okay, so there's a whole roller coaster. So I won't spoil it for you. So yeah, I really this is a book that I think I got about halfway through it or something, and I kind of stopped reading it, and then one day I just read the rest of it in an afternoon, and it's a big book.
Yeah,
like it's a chunky tome.
It's basically like a little bit shorter than Dune, but not by much.
Yeah. I won't spoil this because I don't think this has probably come up yet, but there's a character who comes up later that I desperately want to play in a vampire game one day. We'll talk about this later. So here was my thought that what you...
All right.
I didn't think you were going to hate it or anything because I figured it had
I
enough...
thought I would do my traditional, I'm never going to react to this.
Yeah, right?
I'm going to be like, whatever, it's fine.
I didn't think you would love it. I didn't think that was going to be the reaction because you don't usually like these things that like hardcore. But I guess when I hit him. Again, I didn't really know. I just didn't think, oh, he's not going to hate it. I don't know if he'll really love it.
I think what it is that, at least what I've read, it is not transcendent.
No, it's not.
But I don't need it to be.
No, I don't.
It reminds.
It's a kind of a not fluffy exactly, but like it's
smarter than fluffy. But it's
a fun adventure book.
Yeah, you're going for a ride.
It gets a little darker towards the end, but yeah.
It reminds me of the old pulpy Eberron.
Oh, okay.
Books
Interesting.
That was written for the Eberron Dungeons and Dragons setting.
Yeah.
Which are very, very, very fantasy pulp.
Oh, okay.
And this touches on a lot of the...
It is very pulpy.
On those nostalgic feelings inside of me, in that I don't need it to be more than it is. Mm-hmm. It's not perfect, but it's pretty fucking
fucking good. Yeah.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty great. It has all of the characters I need from a fantasy setting. I don't need a whole wizard stuffy and stupid. I want guile. I want cunning. Yeah. I want people stealing from people who don't deserve their money.
There's so much stealing from people who don't deserve it.
And you know what? That's all I... Oh, and there's literally a mafioso.
Oh, yeah.
With the shark thing. And his little daughter who has, like, boots with knives in them. And she's like, I'm going to kick you with my knife boot.
In the city of Lamora, there's a thieves guild of sorts. And it's understood that the kind of the boss of all bosses... He lets you do what you like. As long as you pay your dues, you can do what you want, except you are not allowed to rob the rich. There is this, like, separation. Locke does not care about that one bit and has been, like, ripping off rich people for years.
Yeah.
And you get a sense of how much he's been doing behind this guy's back.
How much depravity has gone on.
Which is, it's very well done. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. I'm really...
You're just so relieved.
I don't know. I mean, it's been a while since I had a really hardcore win on this one.
Have you ever?
Oh, yeah. I've had a couple.
Oh, Brick?
Yeah, Brick. See, we've done 34 episodes now, so I don't know even... I can't remember anything anymore.
Okay. Just be relieved. Be happy.
I'm happy that you like it. Happy you like something.
You're happy there's joy.
I'm happy there's joy, and I brought you joy. So what do you give first book of Locke Lamora? What do you give it as a grade?
I'm going to bite the bullet. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Two solid thumbs up.
Coveted 2 thumbs up.
I think... If you like thieves, you will love this.
Yeah, if you really, I will say that.
Steal the closest copy you can find. It's what Locke would want.
Yeah, it is. And I have a really cool... a friend of mine gave me that as a Christmas present long ago, and it turned out to be an excellent thing to have. I have a really cool copy of it. No bragging or anything.
It's like a weird 50th anniversary.
It's got this kind of retro look to it that's based on an old... I think there were some books back in the day that were published with this style of cover. It's like yellow and purple.
Yeah.
There's probably a copy... I think there's a Dune edition.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
They have an advertisement for Dune.
Yeah, it's on
like
the back.
And a bunch of classic books.
So, Jacob, what did you make me watch?
I made you watch the first 8 episodes, and I really wish we'd just done 10, of Kaiji Ultimate Survivor. Ultimate Survivor.
Kaiji Ultimate Survivor is a show about a man who is in severe debt because of the foolish actions of another friend of his. And he gets sucked into the world of competitive, restricted rock, paper, scissors gaming. Mm-hmm. He goes on a cruise ship, and he must play out a number of elaborate rules to gain stars so that he will not be sent into a room where something will happen, which you don't find out until about a third of the way through the show. It involves a lot of logic puzzles about card games, about children's card games. No.
Well, I mean, rock,
Well,
paper,
yeah,
scissors
that's true.
is a
That's
children's
fair.
game,
Yeah.
and it's a card game.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's
So
a children's card game.
before I reveal my feelings about this, what do you think I think about it? You put your money where your mouth is.
No.
won't
That's
play
not,
this game?
That's not how this works. I say why I like it, then you explain why you.
Okay, well, tell me
you
why
hate it.
Tell me why you like it.
I don't want to say anything that will spoil the rest of the show for you. Much like with Locke, Lamora.
Yeah.
So I think what is really clever about the first arc is that there are moments where you expect it to go in a particular way and then it doesn't.
Okay.
For example, in the last episode we watched, Kaiji is at his lowest moment. He's ready to face the dark void of whatever's going to happen in that room.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, my friends will bail me out. They can save me. And literally, the two dumbest people to ever exist on anime stop and go, but what if we don't save him?
What if we don't save him?
Get the money instead.
Well, one of them does that.
And Kaiji goes, no, I carried them for all of this. It's literally all been me. Why would they do this? And he wails in despair, and we fade to black.
Yeah. Kaiji is an interesting soul. So you like it because it's very unexpected.
It is subversive in what it wants to do.
I want to ask a question.
Sure.
Is it kind of a parody?
No, it's meant to be genuine. However,
But
that first arc is basically, I would say that first arc is the weakest.
yeah, okay.
Which is not much of a defense.
Yeah.
But the show is trying to describe mind-boggling desperation.
Yeah, I get that.
It is trying to show you someone at their lowest managing to find the bar and fall through it.
Yeah. Hit rock bottom and keep digging.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
I really, really like it.
okay.
Okay. Let me step back for a moment because I had this.
There's
thing.
a lot to process here.
So I'm watching it and I was thinking a lot about it and why I liked it and why I've been enjoying it as much as I have been. But there are certain narrative qualities to it that I don't care for, and it's sort of endemic to the anime genre.
Yeah.
And I think, well, is this trying to be a parody of something else? Is this is very stylized, but do I like that style? And then I said to myself, well, shut up, you like it, so it doesn't fucking matter. So this show is really stupid. It's really, really stupid, but it's also really clever.
Okay.
It's so
Sam,
smart.
I know you're going to think I'm fucking with
Yeah.
you here.
Yeah.
This was my bet. This was literally it.
Yeah.
Is the first one you go, this is so stupid. I don't know.
No, but not in a bad way. Like, I watched that first episode and I was hooked. I was like, I want to know what happens now. Because the concept is so absurd, but it's also like the stakes are so high.
The weird thing is, and I think this is something I can say that's not too big of a spoiler,
Yeah.
the absurdity actually does get explained.
Okay.
The situations, not necessarily like, this is one of those cultural problems of like,
Yeah.
metaphors and similes are the way you are serious.
Oh, yeah, no, that's exactly it. So
Which
it
gets nuts sometimes.
Yeah, but it almost feels like sometimes it's leaning into that.
Yeah.
Like it's making fun of that a little bit. Because there are literally moments where the protagonist is visualizing a cliff that he must jump over.
That never stops.
Yeah. And I liked that in a funny way because the problem with translating Japanese is that you lose a lot of the metaphor and stuff. So it just seems very like I've noticed that bad translations of Japanese use really vague terms. It's not very specific because a lot of the specificity in the language is incomprehensible if you don't know all these references and things. So what I like about Kaiji is it just makes it visual. Yeah. Even while the narrator is talking over and explaining it to its nth degree, it's made it visual, and it's just so goofy and weird.
What I really like, though, when I was watching some of this with you, as a good friend
I think we watched all of it together.
I think I missed like one or two.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I missed like
I think, okay.
But near our last viewing, there were parts where you're like, so does that mean blank?
Yeah.
And
then it tells you.
And then it literally
tells you, yeah.
So,
and that's an interesting thing, because fans of the podcast know I'm not a huge fan of Japanese anime exposition. I find it dreadfully boring. But Kaiji gets away with it because it is very complicated, and sometimes it needs to remind you. Sometimes it does go too far. Sometimes I just feel like you're just telling me what you just showed me.
However, compared to a ratio of 90% of this being useless to
very useful information,
45% of this being useless, and the rest of it being actually very pertinent information.
What I like about it, I like the puzzles.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this, and I compared it to JoJo in a funny way. Because kind of the fun of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is you have to try to figure out, or the show is about JoJo figuring out how he's going to kind of
get out of this weird situation.
He's going to MacGyver his way out. And I don't find that it is interesting because it's a fantasy, and it's there's literally magic, so you can kind of make it up, like you can cheat. However, in Kaiji, this isn't realistic exactly, but it follows rules of this world and of the way this game works. And so I buy the way the solutions play out, which is great. And I really am interested by how they solve they write themselves into the corner, and then how are we going to get out?
Yeah.
And really good shows I don't know if they do this in this show, but a really good show will write its characters into a corner and not know how they get out. Yeah. And then they have to figure it out themselves. Like the audience and the writers don't know. So that's a quality I feel that I may be wrong. Maybe it's totally pre-confab, but I feel that in it, which is why I like the puzzling out as compared to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure gets better with it at times. Mm-hmm. Like, my favorite episode of JoJo is there are crazy fantastical elements to what is happening, but the problem and the solution to the problem are very, very, very mundane.
Yeah, and I don't know that there was much of that in the season I watched.
That's the problem, is I think I chose a bad part for you. It doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, it's just right. So yeah, I like it a lot, and I'm really actually kind of invested in it. Like, every episode is like, oh yeah, the cliffhanger, I want to know more. I want to know what's going to happen next. So part of the conceit is that they're on this ship and they have to play this game of rock, paper, scissors, and it's very complicated, so we're not going to try to explain it.
Basically, you need 3 star chips.
You need 3 stars.
And to have no cards left.
Yeah, no cards left. And they have to do it in 4 hours. And so the last 3 episodes or so are like the last 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
I've lost my train of thought completely, but I like... Well, and okay, this is what I was going to say. I don't know what happens next. Like, I do not have any idea how he gets out of the predicament he's in. Here's the thing I wanted to say. What is with his buddies? They are so stupid. So he meets up with a guy whose fault it is that he's on this ship. And this guy doesn't have many more lines other than crying and saying the protagonist's name.
Kaiji. Kaiji. What I will say...
Does it ever matter? Like, his character matters so little to me. Is that ever going to matter?
We're talking about the guy with the green shirt.
Yeah. Starts with an F.
I think Fudo's the round guy.
No, that's Ando, I think.
All right.
They literally are.
Okay.
The main characters are
I'm
rock,
not
paper, scissors.
Spoil this.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right.
However, I will give you 2 hints.
Okay.
1... The moral of the story throughout this entire show is Kaiji trusts people.
And then, yeah.
The second thing is you have met a character who will be in the next arc.
Okay.
And he is very important to the next arc. Okay. And you do not... And other than, the obvious ones, you don't know who it is.
Do they keep playing rock, paper, scissors?
No.
Okay, so they play a different game. Or do they keep playing a game? Well, we'll have to find out.
I'm smirking. I know that doesn't pick up in an audio medium, but I'm smirking at you.
Listen to the corners of his lips curl. The other thing I like about Kaiji is I love the aesthetic of it. The
People hate it.
Oh, what?
Okay, yeah, this isn't a spoiler. So, Kaiji is drawn, compared to a lot of it,
It's very Western in a way.
It's kind of Western, but the lines are very thick. Everyone is quite stylized towards ugly.
Yeah.
People's ugly features are very
and
dramatized and emphasized.
They're caricatures.
Yeah. So, like, Kaiji has a, like, right triangle for a nose.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the three characters are running around. They're rock, paper, and scissors.
Yeah.
Like,
but the show was not successful particularly because of how ugly it looked.
is it is there a manga?
Yes, and it's drawn like that.
It is drawn like that. Okay.
And it's kind of like it's the equivalent of like being the fan of like David Lynch. Like people will be like, "Oh, I know that guy."
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't like it. It's stupid.
I like it a lot. It's hard to describe because it's a totally aesthetic thing, but like the main character looks like Wario, which I pointed out, or not Wario, sorry. The main
Waluigi.
character, the main character looks like Waluigi.
He's like on a ween.
But no, there's kind of a grittiness to the style, and it feels less generic than a lot of Japanese animation.
It's very much its own thing.
I like that it's different, and I mean, some of the characters' designs are like, but for the most part, I like the main character. I like a lot of the antagonists. Some of the teeth are weird, but that's sort of
we just met a character who has teeth like pebbles.
Yeah.
See, I like that. I like the really...
Yeah. You know what it makes me think of in a funny way? Cowboy Bebop is not very... not what I typically think of the way that anime characters are drawn.
Really?
It definitely is. It's more on that side.
Yeah.
But it does have this sort of other influence that's very European in some ways.
I would contend that the characters are very anime, of a very specific time period of anime.
Yeah.
But the backgrounds and everything else.
The backgrounds are very 70s in Cowboy. Anyway, point being, it reminds me of that, and because it's very different.
Don't worry, it's not all going to be on a boat.
I kind of want it to all be on the boat. I could just watch that, just them playing cards and figuring out how to get out of these problems. I will say that there's some CG in it. It looks very bad sometimes.
I barely notice it.
I know, it's not a huge deal. I do like...
Oh, you mean the boat?
Yeah, the boat. There's sometimes when they go up, like, they focus on the state room thing. Not state room, the ballroom they're in. It's funny because I like the element of the statue. I just don't think it looks very good. Because for me, being a mythology geek, it's Athena Nike, which is a very interesting, meaningful choice. So I'm
There's a reason why.
Yeah, I bet there is. So I want to know more about this world. Because I feel like when I watch this, these gangsters who are running this scam, whatever this is actually, they're doing stuff while the characters are playing out their dramas. So I feel like there is a world that continues behind the scenes.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil.
Yeah, no, don't spoil it for me. So
I am delighted.
That's good.
That the explanations felt warranted. That was my big fear.
You know, they do. They really do. They feel very justified. And this is why I think, or why I thought, maybe is there sort of a parody or a satirical element, because it almost seems like it's making fun of that quality in anime. Like, but really, really, really tongue-in-cheek. Or, like, really straight-faced about it. Yeah. Like, there's...
Possibly.
And admittedly, my anime knowledge is pretty... My anime foo is pretty low quality. It's pretty low. So I don't know. Maybe this is very common.
I think it depends very much on the genre.
Because it almost be like to the point that there is a narrator who is literally explaining what you've just seen. Because sometimes it feels like, okay, that's gotta be a joke. That's kind of a really, really like...
Except when the narrator is super fucking useful and you're like, shit.
Oh yeah, explain that for me. No, because there's a lot of math in this show.
Oh yeah.
There's so much math.
I'm terrified of the next part.
Oh, okay.
I'm terrified of this. Maybe this is going to be the great betrayal. Where it starts out sunny. It starts out like we have hope, and then Act 2 is like Revenge of the Sith, like just full despair.
Well, this is the thing about long forms like TV shows and books is the middle is often the weaker part. So we may hit the bell curve in the next episode. We'll have to see. But for now, I definitely give Kaiji 2 thumbs up. It's not perfect. There's still things I'm kind of like, yeah, that's an anime thing that I don't care for. But just on sheer novelty, I don't know where you're going to get that in a Western cartoon or even a Western show. It's really out there and stupid, but stupid in like a really... It's like that that Honest Trailers thing. Either this is the stupidest smart anime I've ever seen or the smartest dumb anime I've ever seen. And I'm still trying to figure out which it is. So I like it a lot. So on your grading scale, I'll give it a 2 thumb.
Don't you usually do letter grades?
Oh yeah, I do, don't I? Okay, on my scale, I shall give it an A minus.
All right. All right. So,
what is our common word? What is our common theme?
what letter do we have to do?
Well, it is. We are watching 2 things that are really about like crime.
I'm actually, now that I'm thinking,
Felony.
This is yeah, that's it. Felony.
Okay, Felony.
But I was gonna say, in terms of Kaiji and parody, I do realize that you might have heard in a lot of the music them saying "Sawa, Sawa, Sawa," which will happen a lot. Zawa is the onomatopoeia for fear and tension.
Okay, all right. Now I think I have a better understanding of the show. That sound effect kept coming up, and
you're like, what?
I'd start saying it just because. And
no, that's why. Is because it is the comic onomatopoeia for tense and fear.
Okay, so there's some okay. I get you. So how do you feel?
I think a lot of the parody is very production.
Yeah, it's real straight faced. It's real straight faced. What's the word I'm looking for? It's very Fuck, this is gonna drive me crazy.
Don't worry, you'll keep this part in and you'll play Jeopardy music over it.
Yeah, right. It's very droll. It's you know what I'm saying. I'm going to come up with this exactly after we stop running After I turn off the mic, I will come up with this fucking word.
This is the most animated I've seen you in a while.
I'm so mad at myself. I can't think of this word.
I really like our friendship.
I do too. I have fun.
It's going to be ruined by the next episode. It's going to stop. Locke Lamora's going to stop being about thieves, and it's going to be about like generic fantasy plot 101, and Kaiji's going to turn into like...
It definitely won't become that. It definitely, it changes a bit, but there's still lots of thieving.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal, Sam.
All right. How do we feel about Felony?
Felony.
We would like to thank Irritating Rainbow for the use of our theme song, You Broke It, from the album Where the Truck Go. You can find that in the description. We got a little bit of final thought.
I'm going to reiterate this to Sam. And since you didn't hear this, faithful listeners, I feel I need to put it on record.
Deadpan!
I didn't know that was the word you were looking for. I guess that's it.
That's it.